Alright, what's going on, guys? It's Airman Martin back again with my roommate, Airman King. We're going to be talking guys today about whether or not the military is right for you. And it is a beautiful day outside here in place, and we're going to talk today about whether or not you should join the military. And what we think about is things that people need to consider before they actually enlist, before they join, commission, whatever the case may or may not be. So one of my favorite things, and like these are just cliches I see amongst people, is my favorite one is this. Oh, I really want to join, but like I don't like people telling me what to do, you know? I think I'm just not going to listen to them when they tell me what to do. Okay, you do that and tell me how that goes. I don't think anyone remembers the Oath of Enlistment really after they take it, but just as a refresher course here, it says you will obey the officers appointed over you, and that includes NCOs and commissioned officers. That's your sergeants, that's your petty officers, that's everybody. That's basically everyone over you, which when you first enlist is basically everybody. So just remember that. And my other personal favorite is, that one guy who's always like, yeah, if the DI, the drill sergeant, or the MTech is in my face, I'm just gonna punch him. Yeah, okay. You do that, and you tell me how that goes. You tell me how that goes.
You're going to end up on the floor. You're going to end up in prison because you just assaulted another military member. Really?
And an NCO. Really? So you just enlisted and you're already going to jail. It's like a record almost. Who can get kicked out the fastest? And another thing we want to make a point, at least, now this is speaking for the Air Force. I can't speak for the Marines, Army, Navy, whatever, because obviously I'm not in those branches. But primary thing to focus on is PT. And the reason I say that is because I have known a lot of people who have lost rank, had careers ruined because they aren't that good at PT. Now I know what you're thinking, you're in the military, you should be good at PT. The Air Force is kind of an exception to the rule in a sense where they're more lenient on PT until it really matters. And when you mess up, you pay for it, and you pay for it very hard. People have lost rank, and they have lost rank and stayed there for quite some time. Usually getting referral EPRs and not being able to promote past the point. So they'll sit at a pay grade for basically a lot longer than they're supposed to. So, this is among the junior enlisted people who are supposed to basically all be automatically given rank just by sitting at one for so much time. But they can't because referral EPR just says, nah, man.
I know people that are still at E1, Airman Basic. I know a few of those.
Yeah.
Yep.
So that happens. So just be cognizant of that the Air Force really cares about your PT. And the other thing that people need to be aware of, at least my thing, is when you're joining the military, please be aware of the fact that you need to be able to swallow your pride and admit when you're wrong. We have a lot of people, especially when they get a little bit more rank on their sleeves, that they think they're all knowing, they're all this, they're all that, and then when bigger brass comes up and tells them, no, we're doing it this way, they get in trouble because they mouth off, because they feel like they're always right. Or even if they are right in a scenario, when the brass outweighs you, you're still wrong. That's just how it is, man. I don't know what to tell you. Now, am I going to sit here and tell you that leadership's always right in what they do? No. But I'm not going to I'm not throwing anyone to the bus. I'm just saying, like, people make mistakes. That's just how it happens. But you need to be able to just admit, like, okay, all right, it pains me, but okay. And this is not me either, because this is not about me. I'm just saying, like, I've seen it quite a bit. People, they be around for a little while, and all of a sudden they think they know everything, and they should make all the decisions. Don't be one of those people, because when the day hits you when reality comes back and says, no, you're not that person, it's going to suck, and it's really going to suck hard. And I think Airman King had a good point to bring up about the whole airman concept, if you would.
So one of the concepts that the Air Force pushes, and they'll remind you of this every now and again, is what he just called the whole airman concept. So, me personally, I'm not very good at PT. I'm really not. I don't like running. I've gotten injured. It's a problem I've been dealing with for 5 years now. It's still ongoing. I'm really good at my job. I have plenty of people that can vouch for that, but that doesn't actually matter. The Air Force cares about the whole airman concept, which means I need to be good at PT. I need to be good at my job. I've got CBTs to take care of, other admin duties. I have things I still have to take care of and make sure that I'm good or at least above average on in order to meet this whole airman concept. It's not just one particular pillar. So just because you enlist and you're like, yeah, I'm a really good athlete, I do CrossFit, I'm a really good runner, I can run for 3 miles, in, I don't know, 16 minutes or something. There are people that can do that.
That's pretty good, though.
There are people that can do that, but
I can't.
then they fall short on their job, or they fall short on handling their administrative duties because they're just focused on working out the whole time. Air Force doesn't like that. They want the whole package. They want you to be good at all of these things.
No, well, I will always attest, that limits your force, because unfortunately people are not perfect, and while I always think that it's unfortunate that they want a whole package person, as he just said, and not everyone can unfortunately be perfect at everything. So according to the Air Force, however, and I'm sorry guys, the camera's a little shaky, I'm just trying to make sure you guys don't go flying somewhere. Unfortunately, according to the Air Force, if they were Air Force, were to compare me and him per se, right? On paper, this is not true, but on paper, they would think that I'm a better airman just because I score higher 90s on my PT test. Now, on a realistic factor, he's been doing the job a lot longer than me, and I think he's a bit more valuable to the job than I am because he knows what he's doing. But the Air Force thinks differently. Now, I'm not trying to throw the Air Force under the bus here. I'm giving you guys the realistic facts. That's just unfortunately how the Air Force thinks. They want someone who's good at everything. And while I think that's not a realistic standard, it's the standard that they set. And that's just what I want you guys to expect, because that's just unfortunately how it is. So you need to be aware of that. And another thing you need to be aware of, guys, is just that once you join, it's not about you anymore. Your life, while you can be about you, you are for the Air Force now. You're serving something that's much bigger than you. You can't go in with the selfish view that I'm only in this for me. Because we have people like that, and those people hold us back. And while, there's poor people in every single job field and every single career field, no matter what, and I don't even mean the military, I just mean in general, you need to understand that the military as a whole is about serving something that's much bigger than yourself. More than your career, more about your college education, more about your rank even. It's more about what we do as a whole. So don't join for selfish reasons, because we just don't need people like that.
I will say, to add on to that, don't forget about yourself, don't neglect yourself, but understand that you are, again, a part of a bigger whole. You're another piece in the bigger part of the machinery.
Right, and that's what I was trying to. That's a good point. I wasn't trying to just say, slave yourself. Don't do that. Take care of yourself, of course, but understand that you're going to have to make sacrifices. You're not always going to be around your family. You're going to have to work really bad hours sometimes. You're going to have to get phone calls on your days off to say, hey, we need you. Get dressed and let's go. You're going to have to accept that. That's how it is.
You're going to learn to sacrifice sleep. You'll figure that out pretty quick and basic, though. That won't take you very long.
It won't take you very long. What really sucks is when you go through what I did, which is why I haven't been uploading very much, is when it's like, you're on days, now you're on nights, now you're on mids, now it's back to days, and we're going back to nights! It was crazy, and it was making me really, really sleepy. Ask him, he knows.
I primarily work nights, except for when I have to come in and deal with stuff on days, often on my days off, because that's Air Force. You do what you got to do.
Yep.
Leadership works days. They're not going to, generally speaking, they're not going to extend to crazy 9 hours.
And if they have to come in on
the rest of their stuff is all days.
Right, and if they have to come in on the night shift, something went wrong. Something really went wrong somewhere, and it went wrong fast.
Or they decided they had to have a commander's call
at a really awkward time for some reason. I'll never understand what leadership does, but I ain't got anything on the collar, man. So, all right, guys. So before we close this video out, we're gonna give you a couple more cliches of people who want to join the military. We already talked about the things that you should consider before joining the military as a whole: being above yourself, being more about you, considering all the things you have to consider to maintain your career, and remembering that it's about something bigger than yourself and the whole airman concept. But to close this video out on a funny note, we're gonna mention some cliches. So, I'm going to break the military down for you in a very simple manner. And I'm going to say this and then give you the background. The military is not a social experiment. We kill bad guys and break their shit. That's what we do. There's no ifs, ands, or buts about it. We kill bad guys and break their shit. That's what we do. Don't make it more than it is. That's what we do.
You can get off into the political correct scene and be like, well, we do all this humanitarian support. We do.
We do.
We do.
But what the military exists for...
We end up being the world police.
Yes.
Which is... you can get off into the...
But you guys understand, the military as a whole was made to kill bad guys and break their stuff. That's what we do. So don't make more than it is. And the reason I say this is because I was at MAPS when I was in processing. This was years ago, and it stuck in my head for some reason. There was a girl there, and I'm not trying to be stereotypical, but she looked like she was a stereotypical liberal, just based on how she dressed, how she looked, how she talked. I'm not stereotyping. It was just bleedingly, like, slap you in the face obvious.
Textbook.
Yes. So I asked her, why are you joining the military? And she's like, it's a social experiment for my blog posts and this stuff like that. I'm going to document my career. And before you say anything, she was joining the Marines. Out of anything she could have picked, she picked the Marines. That's
a rough time.
That is one hell of a social experiment, I must say. Wow.
No thanks.
No.
No thanks. I'm good.
No. You see, the thing is just that I'm physically fit enough to where I could have made it through the Marines. I could have, but I made my points as to why. Why I prefer a technical position. I want a job that'll push me for my education and cares more about the technical aspect of the job. I would be a decent Marine. I picked a branch where I could be above average and I could excel. I joined the best branch for me. You can count that as an excuse, you can count it for whatever you want, it's just the facts. I joined to excel. I didn't join to be average. Now, minding that, some people join and they are just not good at what they do. And that happens, it's fine. Serve honorably, get your DD-214, and go do whatever you want to do. The world is yours, bro.
Still waiting for my DD-214 blanket to come in.
I'm still getting one of those when I get out. However, never minding that, again, don't make the military more than it is. We kill bad guys and we break their stuff. And there's got to be one more out there. There's got to be one more before we close this video out. Oh, or I got a good one. The ROTC guys who do like the military through like all of high school.
I learned this in ROTC. Oh man.
Yeah, I learned this in ROTC.
That is my favorite.
Yeah. I see. The thing is just that I never would have guessed people would bring that up operationally. Like, you went through JROTC in high school. It's now operational Air Force. I don't care what you learned in ROTC. Junior ROTC, because ROTC is officers. Nobody cares what you learned, because it's not relevant anymore. Come on. You know, or it's the guys who are like, oh, I'm in JROTC, I'm basically in. No, you're not. No, you are not. Well, I'm in the depth, I'm basically in. No, you're not.
You might be basically in if you're a cadet at the Air Force Academy.
Yeah, that'll count.
See that?
That I will definitely give you. I will give you that.
Because when you complete that program, you're going to come out as a second lieutenant. Words.
And I will give you that any day of the week, because that's a very prestigious honor. If you are just a junior ROTC in high school, which anyone can basically do, I will not give you that. I will not say you are basically in, because you are not. Or one of my favorites is just like, dude, this kid in JROTC has more racks than a sergeant does.
My favorite part is when, God bless him, when the LT says, so we did it this way in ROTC. I can't facepalm hard enough for that.
Or we learned this in...
There's not enough Captain Picard for this.
We learned this in OTS.
Jesus Christ.
We poke fun at LTs because it's just the military is a joke. It's just the damn LTs, just like we're the stupid airmen, they're the LTs. It's just the jokes. We poke fun. It's what we do. We're not
just jokes are founded
anything.
on something, though. You'll figure that out when you get there.
Yeah, we're not pointing this at anyone in specific. Besides the one at MEPS, but I guarantee she's not watching this video. I don't even think she made it through basic, to be completely honest. And the reason I say that is because she was acting really high and mighty about it, and that's why I don't remember her name, so I couldn't name shout it anyway. I'm kind of giving her crap right now because it was like, cool, you're joining the Marines. No one cares that much. You're for your social blog on Tumblr, really.
I don't know how you mess up that bad.
I'm
gonna do a social experiment. Let's join the Marines. How do you mess up so badly in your life that's what you decide you're gonna do?
I don't know, but I guarantee even if she did get through, no one's reading that post. Anyways, with that being said, I'm going to close this video out because it's starting to get dark outside. Hope you guys enjoyed a slight change of scenery because I got really bored with what I was doing. And he has more knowledge than I do, so I hope you enjoyed his slight commentary and the dank memes that we have provided.
Knowledge? He means sarcasm. He means sarcasm, guys.
I'm really good at that if you guys haven't figured that out yet. Either way, I'll be seeing you guys next week and whenever this video goes up because I am very lazy and my schedule just changed on me again. I am now back on days. So...
He'll be back on nights in 2 weeks.
Yes, I will. So...
Whatever.
With that being said, I will see you guys next week from whenever this video is posted. See you guys later.
And I say,
hey, yeah, 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 yeah. Hey, yeah, yeah. I said, hey, what's going on? I say, hey, yeah, 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 yeah. Hey. said, hey, what's going on?
And he tried